I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sword. Greetings. Hope you're all having a nice... What day is it? Tuesday. Hope you're all enjoying your Tuesday. Went 0-2 on my bets last night. Kansas State, man. Maybe Utah's just a little better than we thought. And then also I tailed somebody on Texas Southern. Looked like we had it there. They missed by 1.5. So lost both my bets last night. We got Mac from the college experience here. But before we get into it, let's just run the Factor 75. Today's episode is brought to you by Factor 75. As you guys know, I'm a big Factor 75 guy. I love it. I live by it. Factor 75 all the way for me. Looking for gourmet meals? Try meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, truffle butter, broccolini, and asparagus. Factor now offers loads of snack options like breakfast, smoothies, juices, small bites, and more to keep me going no matter what is on the schedule for that day. Skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor's cheaper and way more delicious. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door. They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. Head on over to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code 50SAUCE. That's 50SAUCE. That'll get you 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50SAUCE at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
Factor 75.
We're good. All right. There we go. Now that that's out of the way. So most of you guys probably already know who this is. If you don't, their channel is The College Experience. They do collegiate sports all year. Don't you guys do baseball too in the summer?
We do. And we do football, basketball, and baseball. The basketball is definitely the most popular, but the other sports are fun as well. So I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, if you guys like the way we do it, where we go through the slate, also having fun, bullshit, and joking around, you'll like their stuff. It's very there's a lot of funny shit on there. I mean, anyone who's cool with the pump fake guys is going to be cool with us. Those guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, though, I heard, and I was just asking you about this. So you witnessed some Norfolk State collusion last night. You were an eyewitness to this?
No, I was an eyewitness to a little MEAC voodoo, as we like to call it. Yeah. So set the stage. It was around, the number was 9.5. Actually closed at 7.5. So automatically.
Are you guys hearing that too?
What was that?
His
little
mic
bit.
is coming in very weird right now.
I don't know if it's coming through to them, though. Go ahead.
Okay.
So it number goes from 9.5 to 7.5. So already a red flag. It's for a MEAC or SWAC game. What happens is it's around 9-11 back and forth. Delaware State hits a 3 with 10 seconds. I'm like, all right, there we go. Backdoor cover finally on the right side of one of these. They decide they're going to start trying to foul. And I'm like, oh, my God, are you guys really going to foul down 9 with 10 seconds left? So they start fouling, and they won't call it. The referees are dead set on, I'm out of here, this game's over. 10 seconds, I'm like, all right, there we go. They start fouling the shit out of them. And I'm like, oh, man, this is going to turn into a brawl. No call. So then finally it looks like, no, they're not going to call anything. And everybody starts walking off the floor. This guy goes to shoot a 3 for no reason with 0.5 seconds. But the ball is clearly in his hand with 0.0 seconds. Knocks it in. The whole crowd goes crazy. I'm like, all right, there's no way they're going to count that. Like, that was way after the buzzer. They go over to review it. They look at the monitor or whatever the hell is going on. They look at it, and they come across and they just go, good, and then they walk off with like a dirty smirk on their face. There's no way that they saw a camera angle that said that was good. So yeah, I witnessed a MEAC murder last night.
Okay, now that you told the story, we're gonna need to have you leave. And
yeah, could you leave and come back? I could hear it, but there's like a weird noise coming through your mic. But
yes,
what he just described, I was looking. Yeah, just leave and come back real quick. I could not even find a clip of it. So this is buried here. But yeah,
That's dirty. That is dirty.
Yeah. So First of all, fouls that weren't getting called, and then a 3-hit questionably after the buzzer. Yeah, thought it was funny. So we'll get him back here. Give me a test audio. Can you hear me? Yeah, we're good now. So, I mean, they could hear you, but there was a weird static. So, like, they heard the story, but it just sounded weird. But you're coming in clear now. So, all right. I got, like, 16 games lined up. A lot of these we talked about last night. So, I mean, Toast doesn't have to go through his whole spiel again. But we can get Max thoughts since we have him on. This first one, I believe we both said UConn or pass last night. I don't know. I kind of think I'm leaning the other way now. I didn't bet it. You could put Villanova up for me. I'm not betting the game. Villanova has lost 3 of their last 4 road games by double digits. So I know people are hesitant to lay points with UConn, but Villanova on the road has not been very pretty. Toast, are you still leaning towards UConn?
I guess it's the smallest of small leans, yes. There's no chance in hell I lay 3 full possessions with this UConn team. That not only have they not been that great, especially covering big numbers, but at the free throw line, I know that their numbers look decent, but some of their main guys, especially like Kirms and stuff, has really shit the bed. So I just don't really trust this team at all. That being said, I do think that Villanova is absolutely terrible. I think they got lucky against St. John's, but so there's no way I could get to them. So it's an easy pass for me.
So probably re-saying UConn or pass.
It don't matter.
Mac, you have a lean in this one? Oh, damn. Did he just drop out?
I mean, yeah, I didn't kick him out.
he hated Toast pick of
He's furious.
All right. Well, we can move on to, I'm sure he'll come back in a second. Did he just lose connection? Oh, no, he's back. He's back. Yeah, it's coming in very clear now. All right, so Max coming on. Did you have well, actually, wait until they can hear you, but did you have a lean in this? There you go. You're on screen. Villanova, UConn.
I like Villanova. I've been fading UConn all year. I think people still got the UConn from 2 years ago, last year in their mind. This is not the same team. McNeely, I'm a big fan of his, but he still is only a freshman, and I just think you kind of look at you look at UConn throughout the year. They have struggled to really blow anybody out, not named DePaul. Xavier, they've struggled with 1-possession games, but even Butler. They got the big wins at Creighton and Marquette, but then they drop a home game to the Johnnies. So I think we get another 1-possession game. I know it is a revenge game. They did just lose at Villanova a couple weeks ago, and they're off the Seton Hall embarrassing loss. But I think Villanova is able to play through Eric Dixon and stay within the number.
And to your point, that other Villanova game was a 2-point game, so it's not like either team was. Yeah.
Trev is in the comments. Vandebas saying Nova's 2-7 against the spread on the road. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure UConn as a favorite of 7 or more points is a terrible. I think I remember someone saying it, that they have a terrible record when laying 7 or more. Someone said it last night. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Especially at home. At home, all 1 possessions.
I mean, you just look at all their games. It's 1 or 2 possession games with the exception of DePaul. DePaul's been the team that they beat up on.
Poor DePaul. Yeah. Next game up. Someone requested this one. I don't know if you guys have any interest in it. Jacksonville, Florida Gulf Coast. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about either program. So if you guys have anything you want to add.
I do. I played the over 165.5. 2 of the worst defenses in college basketball. There's no question about that. North Florida runs a very, very high pace. I just feel like this over. I mean, every time that Stetson loses a game, they give up like 90 points. So I just have a hard time believing this game doesn't go over. I know that North Florida isn't like anything spectacular, but at the same time, look at North Florida's games. It's 80, 84, 83, 83, 70, 84, 70, 95, 88.
I think we're on Jacksonville, Florida Gulf Coast.
Oh, my bad. I was talking about the wrong game.
I was like trying to follow it. Like, did he just say
Stetson? My bad. I was talking about the wrong damn game. I don't even have nothing on this damn game. It's pass. God damn it.
Hey, we're allowed to cuss on this show, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
These 2 teams are a little bit of a shit show. The first game they met, it was January 29th, and Jacksonville had a 56-32 lead midway to the second half and blew the game. Gulf Coast came all the way back. So, to your point, it is a chaotic pace, chaotic game. I do like Gulf Coast. I think they're better. They're off 2 losses. But it is going to be an entertaining game in the ASUN, which has been an entertaining league altogether.
So he leans toward. Wait, you said which team had the lead?
I like Gulf Coast again. I think they are slightly better than Jacksonville, and they are a little bit desperate here at home, coming off 2 losses.
All right, let's move on to the next one. People are trolling toast.
Sorry about that, guys. I got a little excited.
The comments are trolling toast for reading off the wrong game. He's like, every time Stetson loses. I was like, he just say Stetson? All right.
You don't want to go through those Stetson box scores.
I know. That's why I was trying to make it quick, too.
All right. Next up, Toast also, I asked if there's any games he wanted me to add, and he said Bowling Green. So I'm assuming Toast has a bet he likes in this one, this Kent State Bowling Green game?
Yeah, I'm going to be on Bowling Green here, plus 6.5. I do think that Bowling Green's starting to play well. Winners of 4 of their last 5. They're only lost to a really good Ohio team, and now they're hitting on a Kent State team that obviously Kent State's very good, one of the better teams in the Mid-America Conference. But I also think it's kind of a little bit of a sandwich spot for Kent State after a nice win against Ohio at home. They also played 3 straight home games at home. Now this is their fourth game now, but now it's going to be on the road, and it's sandwiched in between this Ohio game where they have Miami, Ohio on deck, another team that's up at the top of that conference. So I just don't really like the spot for Kent State, and like I said, I think that Bowling Green's starting to play a little bit better right now, so getting over 2 full possessions was kind of worth it to me, not to mention the fact that I do trust Bowling Green offensively to score at home a little bit more. I know that Kent State's numbers defensively are like the best in the conference, but I just feel like this is a really bad spot for Kent State personally.
Yeah, the graphic on the screen says 5.5, but I looked. You can get 6.5 right now, so that's available.
I didn't bet it until it got to over 6. Personally, that's what I was waiting for.
Mac, you have anything you like here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Bowling Green as well last night, 6.5. They've gotten healthier over the last 2 weeks, especially in the front court. And I know the competition's been a little bit weaker, beating Northern Illinois, Coastal, and Buffalo. But they hung in with Ohio, and I think Ohio on the same level as Kent. Kent has kind of been an up-and-down team. I'm a big fan of the program, but a little bit up and down. So, yeah, I'll take the points with Bowling Green, and I usually take the dog in the MAC, too. That's another angle.
Also, we have a little bit of revenge for Bowling Green because they did get blown out by Kent State. They was never close the first time these 2 teams played. So,
I like it. I think I'm going to tail that. I don't know anything about these teams, but you guys both like it. I only have 1 open bet at the moment. I'm down to tail and take Bowling Green. Let's do it.
There you
go. What's up next? I kind of am a little worried. Last night we were talking some shit, all confident, like Purdue outright, Michigan State coming off the huge upset win, all that. I kind of was expecting to wake up and see the line at like 2. It's still sitting there.
We told you that it wouldn't be. We told you that last night.
Yeah, but I didn't believe you.
Everybody loves Sparty. I know. You should every once in a while.
I'm not switching sides. I'll still put up Purdue under my face, but like, I don't know. My confidence is low.
Mac, what's your thoughts on this game? I'm curious because we all love the points.
Yeah, I think Purdue wins the game outright. I think they got the best player on the floor in Braden Smith. They're off back-to-back losses. They don't lose at Mackey often, so you're getting them coming off a rare loss at Mackey Arena. And I think I call it the foxhole spot when you're favorite at home and you drop that game and you hit the road, you get a good week of practice, desperation spot. You want to get that bad taste out of your mouth, and you're catching Sparty feeling fat and happy. I mean, Izzo's tearing up after the game. I think that they're able to control the tempo with Braden Smith, and I think Purdue's going to actually win the game. So I am with you. I am a little surprised it did not drop at all, but people do love them some Sparty this time of year.
Juice is in the comments saying Sparty. All right, let's do it. I'll take Purdue. I like Braden Smith a lot. Love his game. I'm down to take it. I almost bet Purdue in the last one against Wisconsin, which would have been a mistake. I'll take it. Let's go to the next one. What is next? Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Toast last night on the midnight show was the only person on the stream on Mississippi State. He took Mississippi State, and every single person in the comments was taking Texas A&M. Yeah. I'm not sure if A&M is a heavy public side. It certainly seems like it. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So are you sticking to your guns here?
I've already bet Mississippi State minus 2.5 for a full unit. There's no question in my mind.
No
Especially when I woke up this morning and saw all the love and all the hate in my inbox. It made me just. It was absolutely zero question for me. So.
All the hate in his inbox. Mac, you have a bet in this game?
Yeah, me and you are in the foxhole here. I like Hail State. I know they have really shit the bed at home over and over again, whether it was Florida at home, Missouri at home, Alabama at home, Kentucky at home. It seems like every big home spot in Starkville, which is weird because over the last 2 years under Jans, they've been good at home. But I just think that they found something Saturday night at Ole Miss, Josh Hubbard. I think they're coming back here. I think A&M has played chaotic game after chaotic game. And I like the spot here for Mississippi State. And like you said, when you see the whole chat on an underdog, you kind of want to lay the point. So yeah, give me Hail State here in a very I guess contrarian play. I mean, to your point, Texas A&M is very public as a number 6 or 7 team in the country getting points.
Would you call this fake sharp, Com?
This
better put up points with Buzz Williams. No, I haven't seen that at Twitter at all once today, not once.
Put up A&M for me. And you guys say Mississippi State found it, or maybe it was just a rivalry game and you saw their best fastball.
No. Let's just stop right there because people are also going to harp on the fact that Mississippi State's good at home. Again, I say this all the time, but how many teams in the country is going to have a good record at home when they play Kentucky, Alabama, Missouri, and Florida? I could name maybe 2 or 3 teams that don't lose all those games. So again, you can poke holes at Mississippi State, all you want, but the fact of the matter is they're playing really good competition at home, and yes, they're losing the games, but we don't really expect them to win those games. So again, like Mac just said, Texas A&M's been playing up and down all year. So again, they win games kind of wonky. I don't think they have Tennessee on deck. I really hate the spot for Mississippi or for Texas A&M. I think Mississippi State wins this game by 4+.
I'll write it down. I might take A&M. Let's go to the next one.
I think Hail State can like when you play Texas A&M, you can't just get swallowed up with their athleticism because they play such a chaotic pace and such an ugly brand of basketball. So I think Hail State can bang with them on the glass.
Helms in the comments says Toast is fired up. He is fired up about this one. He gets excited when the whole world's against him. It's like
my favorite thing in the world.
It's his moment. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh man, baseball season. I can't wait. It's the best.
Yeah. This is another one I kind of just threw in on you guys. I don't know if you're interested. North Florida.
This is the one. This is the real one.
We know Toast is on the over.
Yeah, like I was saying before, two of the worst teams in the country. Or sorry, 2 of the worst defenses in the country. Yeah, again, North Florida's coming off of a an overtime win against Central Arkansas, or loss against Central Arkansas. This is going to be their 3rd straight road game. They're going to be playing absolutely no defense at all. Not to mention the fact that North Florida runs at a very high pace. Stetson shoots really good free throws. This game just has overwritten all over it. And Stetson's just absolutely terrible. So the last time that these 2 teams played, I think it was, 100 to 101. I don't want to. That game was in overtime. I don't think we see 100 points, but I think that easily each team get to 80+.
All right, Mac, any thoughts on this one?
Stetson has a weird way of playing good against the Florida teams. We joke about that because they play like the World Tour in their bye games against Miami, Florida State. You go down the list, South Florida, and for whatever reason, them and North Florida have played some classics over the years. So I will take, I guess, Stetson getting the 6.5, but this is not one of my. You got to bet Stetson. It's definitely one of my smaller plays of the night.
Toast, I think you're influencing the poll here because 51% of people said they're taking the over. 28% say North Florida. Like, more people are clicked on the over in the poll than both sides combined. So
I love it.
I think everyone liked your passion when you delivered that.
I just like the fact that North Florida runs at a high pace. You can count on them to score, and Stetson's size and free throw shooting ability should keep them in this game and scoring points. So
let's go to the next one. My bet, the only bet I have open. Everyone hates it. Sooners. Play them down to the wire here. Everyone hates it. Oh, Florida's beating everybody by 20 points, they said. That when people start saying that,
okay. Stop.
That's
you
what you
said.
said.
This line is outrageous, and I said it's not that outrageous when considering the fact that Florida's beating everybody by 20 points. If they put this line at 9.5, every single person in the world would bet.
I think they're every single person in the world's taking Florida anyway. I'm
just saying that you got to give them. They got to give. I don't hate your Oklahoma pick. I'm on the over. So
the problem is I forgot to bet it when we talked about it last night. I think it was 16. I got it at 13.5. I forgot to bet it, so I bet it today. I missed out on a couple points. I'm on the Sooners here. This is the only bet I have open. I am going to add some more based on the show, but as of right now, this is the only bet I have open. I know it's ugly. I know you all hate it. Mac?
Go ahead, Mac.
Oh, I'm with you. I love Oklahoma here. When we get into the dog days of February and you get a bubble team and they're catching big number, like you're going to get the best effort from Oklahoma tonight. Like this is going to be an all-out effort. And then you got Florida who sees their name on the 1 seed line on Saturday. They're coming off a blowout win against South Carolina. They're looking ahead to their big showcase games coming down the stretch here over the next couple weeks. You'll get a Florida team that's going to go through the motions tonight. They're going to win the game. I'm not saying Oklahoma's going to win the game, but you're going to get a max effort for Oklahoma. Porter Moser over the years likes to play a little bit slower, and for whatever reason, they're better on the road than they are in Norman. And back to my other spot, they drop a home game against LSU as a big favorite, completely choked that game away, hit the road, us against the world, Foxhole spot. Yeah, give me Oklahoma in the points.
I love it. I was not expecting anyone to like my pick here.
It's gross. It's gross.
It's
Nobody wants to bet 3-9 Oklahoma in the SEC, but this is a beautiful bet here, I think.
Toast is too scared to do it.
No, I'm very, very fond of my over 156.5, and I also wouldn't be afraid of. I wouldn't lay the points with Florida. I would continue to play their team totals over before I laid the points with Florida. So with me personally, but as far as Oklahoma's concerned, I don't really worry about the pace with too much. I mean, they're averaging about 75 possessions a game over their last 5 or 6 games. So I do think the pace should be there. And I think that this Florida offense is going to be just fine at home. So I think that we see a big night out of Jeremiah Fears. I think we see a big night out of the Florida offense. So like I said, I think we see points and more points. So yeah, I'm more than comfortable with the over. I don't want to pick a side in this game at all. I just want to watch these teams score against each other.
Fair enough. Next up, wasn't this line 8.5 when we were talking about last night? TCU taking money like that?
Yeah, because I wanted to play them at 10. That's what I was like 9.5, 10. That's what I was kind of waiting for. Obviously, that's not going to happen.
It's gone. I mean, I said Texas Tech or pass last night. I mean, I guess you could just put Texas Tech up for. I'm not betting this one though. Mac, any thoughts?
You're going to get your hat?
Oh yeah, there are people in the comments that track it that said like my record when I bet on the team who's had them work. I don't know if the records are accurate, but there are people that say it. Texas Tech or pass.
Yeah, Kyle, when I saw TCU, I said, "Oh, he's gonna like TCU." I love TCU. Jamie Dixon. This is a little bit of a rivalry. These two teams, fan bases don't like each other. The first meeting, Tech did win by 12, but they dressed that up late. TCU had the lead in the second half last year. They split, and TCU, for whatever reason, is really good on that jacked up court, that rubber court that they play on down there in Fort Worth. It's hideous to watch on TV. I think that they're able to muck this thing up, and they're getting Texas Tech off the big Oklahoma State win where they won by about 50. I think we get a 1 to 2 possession game. Jamie Dixon as a dog, I like to back.
Seems like a lot of sharp action would be leaning towards that. I mean, to bet this number down from 8.5 to 6.5, I'm not touching Texas Tech. Toast.
Yeah, Trevor and I both like TCU last night. So
yeah.
I just think that Texas Tech is in kind of a little bit of a vulnerable spot. I mean, they look at their last. I mean, not to mention a kind of a sleepy one at that. You played Houston in overtime, then you play Baylor, then you play Arizona on the road. You squeak by Arizona State in a double overtime game, and then you get a 40-point game against a 40-point win over Oklahoma State. Like sooner or later, I don't know. I just feel like the cookie's going to crumble for Texas Tech. So I know that they've been dealing with injuries here and there. They've been more healthy and whatnot. But like Max said, TCU's been playing just as good. I mean, over their last 6 games, I think their only loss was to Iowa State and then that Texas Tech game, which he talked about how TCU actually played much better than the final score indicated. So, again, I was on TCU. I wanted to be on TCU last night. I thought the number would go up, so I kind of missed the number, so I didn't play it. But there's no way. It's TCU for me or pass.
All right, let's move on to the next one. His number got even higher. We were talking about Xavier last night. I still think Xavier wins by 10. So I would still go Xavier here, but 7.5 is they're really testing my patience here with the number. I still think Xavier covers though, but I can't do it at 7.5. Either of you guys have a bet on this one?
It'd be Xavier. It's Xavier for me. I think that we're getting a little bit of a. I think that people want to take Butler with all those points because they've been playing well. But at the same time, those wins are against DePaul, Seton Hall, Providence at home, by the way, not at the Dunk, and against Georgetown. So again, this is going to be a pretty significant step up in class for Butler, and I do think that obviously Xavier plays much better at home. So they just got done mollywopping DePaul. They mollywopped Georgetown. Kind of did the same thing to UConn as well. I mean, I don't know what the spread. I can't remember what the spread in that game was, but they should be able to win this game by 7+, considering that they've beat other teams that are much better at home on this number. So I didn't end up playing Villanova. I do have them in a money line parlay, but yeah, I didn't lay the points. But I think they win by 10+ as well.
Mac, do you think 7.5 is too many?
No, I don't. I think everybody will be, to your point, Kyle, will be tempted to bet Butler, 3-game win streak, Thad Matta on the road. Sean Miller and Thad Matta have a friendship, but I just think Xavier at center. They've underachieved so far this year, but I think that they're going to find themselves down the stretch, better group, more healthy, and they're good in the bully roles, like I like to say. They beat up on the inferior competition in the Big East. It's when they step up in competition, they usually lose. So, yeah, I'll lay with Xavier.
I don't know if I'm actually going to pull the trigger on it, but yeah, let's go to the next one. Do want to find a couple more bets for tonight. There's so many good games on it. I only have a couple open. This is definitely not one of them. What is this? I don't even recognize these logos. Tennessee State against UT Martin. Oh, yeah, this is the one you asked for, UT Martin. So go ahead. You have the floor.
You better be taking UT Martin, brother.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm on them too.
Yes, UT Martin, first-year head coach Schulman, comes from the JUCO ranks. They've gotten a lot better throughout the year. They started off fast, but then they got some injuries. And I like taking first-year head coaches in February. Sometimes we see it in college football where they start playing well in the month of November, where they start looking like the second-year version of the team. I think that's the same in February here. They've won 3 in a row. They're coming back home. They're laying points against a team higher in the standings than them for a reason. I like Martin in a revenge game. Lay the 2.5 against Tennessee State.
Put it up for me, too. That metaphor you just dropped about the first-year head coach in November resonated with me. I'm in. I'm putting this on the list.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. I can't really add more. I like the revenge spot. So, yeah, let's go UT Martin.
I'm in.
There's something else I couldn't like. There was something else about Tennessee State. Oh, yeah, they're on their, third road game in a row. So, another spot that I just don't like for them. So, yeah.
Cool. I'm in. What's next? Illinois, Wisconsin. Mac, are you part of this? I don't know if you're a part of it. There's in the community, there's just a lot of Wisconsin glazing going on, and Van den Bosch is the ringleader, but he has a posse behind him.
Well, he's got Helms is his vice president.
Helms, there's a few of them, and I have nothing against Wisconsin. I've now grown to hate Wisconsin because of these people.
100%.
So my opinion's biased. I want to take Illinois, but I think I'm biased. I think I just hate Wisconsin now, honestly.
So you know what I do? I do the Moneyline Mac Top 25 every week, and then I do the Team of the Week. And whichever one gets the most love, is the next game I fade them. So I butter them up. I build them up, and then I go the opposite way. Wisconsin's that team this week. I put them number 9. And Wisconsin fans are finally somebody showing us respect. Yeah, I'll take Illinois to win outright tonight. They've had Wisconsin's number, and this is the foxhole spot too. I mean, they had that Michigan State in control, and then they didn't score for the last 6.5 minutes after they half-assed Terrence Shannon's jersey ceremony. I just think their athleticism bothers Wisconsin here, and I'll fade Wisconsin off the Mackey win.
I love it. I'm adding this. Toast, you're on Illinois too, right?
Yeah, I got 4.5. So I took it last night. So I know that they haven't looked great, but at the same time, again, I'm just not. I don't really think Wisconsin is as good as they are. So I know I'm going to take a lot of heat for that. But they've played really, really well. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, I'm just really not there. So off a huge Purdue win on the road in Mackey, now they got to come back home. I'm just really not there. So yeah, I took Illinois plus 4.5.
Trevor Van den Bosch is in the comments typing in all capital letters, just so you know. In all capital letters. Let's move on to the next one. Houston, Arizona State. I don't know. Yeah, I guess Houston. I don't know. I haven't bet an Arizona State game ever since my team total lost against Arizona. That was like 2 weeks ago. I still can't believe that bet lost. They came out. It looked all right at halftime. They came out in the second half and they couldn't miss a 3-point shot. It looked like the NBA All-Star game.
So Kyle, the funny thing is, Kyle's got like 8 TVs set up, and it was in the top left of the smallest one. And every time we looked over, we're like, "You got to be kidding!"
They don't miss a freaking shot. So ever since that game, which was like I guess 2 Saturdays ago, I refused to bet on or against Arizona State. So I guess Houston or pass, but I'm good.
Well, and I have another story. So that happened in the Arizona game. I was on the Sun Devils. I was on them against Iowa State too. And they were getting about the same number, and they were winning the entire game. And then they gave up like a 16-0 run to end the game.
I remember that.
Last 10 minutes, 26-9, Iowa State.
Yeah, it was such bullshit. Now, with that said, I love the Sun Devils tonight. You're getting
Let's go. Thank you.
You're getting Houston off of the big Arizona win. They've been playing all these big games, and I think we're gonna get a tight one here tonight. I'm not gonna call for the money line. I want to. But I just know Arizona State will find a way to fuck it up at the end. And I love that this number has not budged at all. I mean, I was expecting to see it maybe jump up to 12.5 or 13.5 with how much people love Houston. But I think you kind of just get Houston, physical game. They win 60-52 or something like that. Yeah, give me the Sun Devils.
I will say, I mean, I'm just looking at Arizona State's recent game logs here. This one might even be uglier than Oklahoma as far as like an ugly ass bet. This one might even be uglier than that.
Late night Tempe action.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not taking Houston, but it would be Houston or pass. Let's move on to the next game. Look, I know that Trevor was pretty big on LSU here, and I get it. We always talk about LSU, feisty team at home, I believe is the phrase we always say. They're feisty at home. They're always catching points. There's a minus next to their name, and I just think the feisty at home thing applies more when they're home dogs. I kind of want to take South Carolina here. I think I was the only one that liked South Carolina last night, but really tempted to bet this one. Mac, are you by any chance with me on South Carolina?
Yes, I love the Gamecocks here. I think they're going to get their first win here. I think that this is the spot. They have been not good on the road. I will say that, but this is definitely by far the easiest or most favorable matchup that they've had on the road. At home, they lose every game by 3 in league play. All these top 10 games, whether it's Auburn, Florida, Alabama, like they lose all these crazy games. I think we fade LSU coming off that big Oklahoma crazy comeback. I'll take the Gamecocks. I think they're getting in the win column here. Let's go.
I like that. I'm going to bet this, definitely. I think Toast is on LSU, though.
Yeah, I got a full unit on LSU money line. Again, I'm going to continue to fade South Carolina on the road as much as I possibly can. I do agree that they're probably going to get a win sooner or later. That win will probably come against Texas or Georgia at home. I don't think it's going to come here too. I don't think it's going to come on the road personally. So I also don't hate how LSU has really played their last few games. They played Ole Miss really, really close. They lost to Arkansas and then they won against Oklahoma. So I don't think they're playing that bad. And not to mention they have Florida and Tennessee on deck. Mississippi State. I mean, this is like their last chance probably for a win the rest of the year for LSU. So at home, I'll take my chances with a short number.
Cool. Let's move on to the next one. This is another one where we talked about last night, and I'm worried. I didn't bet it. Last night, we were like all confident. We're like, Kansas is winning this game. We were like, confidence level through the roof. I think it was at 2.5. Then I saw 3.5. It looks like it's at 3 pretty much right now. Clearly, there is quote-unquote sharp action coming in on the BYU side, keeping this number up. I still want to bet Kansas. If you guys make a strong case for Kansas, I could be talked into it. But as of right now, it's Kansas or pass for me.
I bet Kansas 2.5 and 3.5. But go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, to your guys' point, I forget who mentioned the fake sharp play today. I think BYU is the fake sharp play of the day. I'm not going to overthink this. I know Kansas has burned me more than any team. I had them in that Houston game where they completely.
Me too, brother. Me too.
I had him against Utah the other night as well. I've had him multiple times, but I still think Bill Self, elite coach. They've stayed out there in Utah. It's second game of elevation, another day to get acclimated with the elevation compared to K-State, who had to play a quick one 48 hours later. I just think they're going to be able to play through Dickinson offensively. I think that they're able to slow down the game, control the tempo. This reminds me of the Arizona game a couple weeks ago, where everybody was like, BYU is going to smash Arizona in Provo. But I just think BYU a little bit counterfeit, especially defensively. I will take the Jayhawks one more time and label this a fake sharp play on BYU of the day.
I love it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, same. This is like the same situation for me with Kansas State last night. I bet them at the bad number. I bet them at the good number. Don't really care. I'm I'm confident where I'm at. So if I lose, I lose. But I'm getting Bill Self as a dog on the road against a BYU team that I don't think is very good. That lives and dies by the 3. I think that Kansas can slow this game down, make BYU beat them in the half court. And if that's the case, I don't really like the chances for BYU at all. So I think Kansas wins an ugly game here tonight.
As far as like our poll right here, it's about 50-50. So there's a lot of people watching right now on BYU, and we're calling it the fake sharp play of the day. Want to know who is on BYU in the comments? King fake sharp himself, Trevor Vanden Bosch.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Typical. Beautiful.
He's riding really high off that Utah win last night.
I know. He thinks he's the shit right now.
Oh, that BS flagrant foul. That was awful.
We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to let Trevor have his moment and move on to the next game.
Yeah. That was rough to lose to Trevor. Minnesota, UCLA.
What do you mean? You love the Gophers.
I like the Gophers. I don't understand the same thing I said when I bet them against USC. Why does the market hate Minnesota so much? I know they weren't covering earlier in the year, but they haven't been that bad. I know you guys are both going to take UCLA, though. I already know.
I have no play on this game. The only thing that I can say is I think the only reason that I think this line is what it is I think that they're trying to entice you to bet Minnesota. I know that Minnesota just came off of a decent cover against USC. Again, like I said last night, I think that was more of a USC melt than anything. Regardless, if you want to put that into your handicap, wherever you want to talk about it, again, I just don't really put too much into that. So, again, I don't. But also, all that being said, when were we fading UCLA? When they had to do all those travel trips, Gonzaga at home, North Carolina, Nebraska, back. They're in the same type of a situation where they played Penn State at home, had double road games at Illinois, Indiana, and now coming back home against Minnesota. So it's just not a spot that I trust UCLA in. So if anything, I would play over, I guess. But that's very, very slightly.
Mac?
Yeah, Toast hit it right on the head. I think it's the MLB. The MLB or the NBA where you fade the team coming off the extended road trip.
Oh,
UCLA, like Minnesota has been out in LA for a couple of days, and I've loved back in these spots where you get the team that's on the second leg of the double trip, acclimated with the time zone, altitude, whatever it is, and they're catching points. This one, they're catching a big number. And Minnesota's actually been kind of chippy under Ben Johnson here over the last month. They took it on the chin early, but I think they found their identity here. I'm going to take the 11.5. This did open, I think, at like 13.5, so it's come down. And I'm not running to bet UCLA either, laying double digits. They're more of a grinded-out team. So coming off the big Indiana-Illinois road trip in the Midwest, they finally broke the streak where they couldn't win a game outside the Pacific time zone. I'll take Minnesota here. I'm not going to take them on the money line, though. Just take the points.
I like it. I was leaning the same way. Toast, Miranda is in the comments on the over as well.
She's sharp, so I'm good with that.
She has been winning in the group.
I
know. Except for the Texas Southern play I tailed the other day, Miranda, or last night. Just fell short. So next, we got 2 games left.
I think that was more unlucky than anything, to be honest.
Yeah, it was like a 3-5 point game with a minute left, and I was 7.5. It sucks. So we got a Mountain West game, and then we got, I can't contribute much here, Nevada, Colorado State. So you guys take it away. What do we like here?
This is going to be a fun game. These are 2 teams that play always classic games, to be honest. Last year, Nevada beat them on like a 65-footer in Fort Collins on a bank shot at the buzzer. Fun game. This year, Colorado State won earlier, I think in early December by 2 points. I'm on the revenge game, kind of like what I said with Xavier earlier. I think Xavier's a lot better than their record. They just took it on the chin in early January, but they've found themselves. I like Nevada here. I think that they got a bunch of vets. They got good size. And I like Alford as a dog versus Alford as a favorite. So give me Nevada. I think that they're live to win this game. I know it's only 3.5, but yeah, I think Nevada's going to get a bounce back spot here.
Nevada plus 3.5. Toast, you leaning that way?
Yeah, I thought. And I must not have. So I guess Nevada plus 3.5 for me. Huge height advantage. Also, Nevada, really good defense, a really good defensive rebounding team. And I think that they're starting to play a little bit better now after 4 straight wins. So yeah, I agree with him as far as Alfred as a dog too. So not to mention the fact that Colorado State, to me, I don't really know what to think of this team. They win one, they lose one. They kind of, I mean, it's just not one of these teams that I really trust, especially laying or at least over a full possession. So again, I think there's a little bit of value in Nevada.
Polling at 60% Nevada compared to 30%. So as far as the viewers, they are leaning towards Nevada. Elliot from the Pump Fake Pod likes Colorado State though. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, last game up. Lipscomb against Eastern Kentucky. What a matchup here. You guys can go ahead and take it away. I've never watched this. You know what? I probably watched some Lipscomb games in March before, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about the program.
Kyle, you're going to want to start watching these two teams because this league right here is one of the more entertaining, fun.
What conference is this?
Sun. They got these two. They got the Gulf Coast Jacksonville game earlier. They got Queens. They got North Alabama. This is the tournament that had all the buzzer beaters last year. I think it's going to be the exact same thing. You got the championship game that Sunday before all the big ones go off, just like the Missouri Valley. It's them in the Missouri Valley do it right, where they do it a week early so you can watch them in full. I like Eastern Kentucky here because they're kind of a tough matchup for Lipscomb. They get after you defensively, pressure you for 94 feet. Lipscomb's kind of a finesse team in a way. They like to run their pretty offense, shoot a bunch of threes. If you let them do what they want, they're really good. But Eastern Kentucky, tough matchup, 1-7 in a row, including at Lipscomb. I think they beat them again.
Eastern Kentucky plus 4.5. Toast, you have any looks here?
Same thing. I thought I bet them last night. Must not have. You can still get 4.5 juiced up, but feel the same way. I the people that I've talked to worry about Eastern Kentucky coming off that overtime win at Queens, but they didn't have to travel. Their game before that was at home as well. I just think this is going to be a close game. I would more than happy to take the points. Oh, and by the way, Eastern Kentucky, the best free throw shooting team in the ASA.
Oh yeah, Toast and his freaking free throws, man. All right, so that was actually the last game. I'm putting the link. I mean, I'm sure most of the people here know what the college experience is and subscribe to the channel. But if you don't, I put the link right there. It's really similar. In fact, you'll see a lot of the same names. If you like the community with the comments, you'll see a lot of the same names in their chat as well. And they do like late night stuff. They got a pregame. They got all kinds of content going on over there. So there's the link. Mac, thanks for joining. And we'll set something up because obviously March, tune it up. We're going to need guests. We're going to be putting out all kinds of stuff. And then hopefully this fall we could work together because college football, I'm definitely in need of some guests for that. So we'll talk. Definitely get you back on soon. There's the link, and we're all set. Remember
I appreciate you having me. I'm a big fan of the show, and go check out the college experience. It's a riot every night, and like you said, I'm looking at the chat, a lot of the same names. Cheers.
Tell Colby I said hi. I love that guy. I haven't seen him, talked to him in a while.
We'll do. Appreciate it, guys.
Bet responsibly tonight. Hit me up the Discord if you need me.